to just give yourself half a chance here. More than anything, I think a lot of you are not giving yourself a chance. I think the reason that you feel demotivated and you feel like you're not getting anything done and you feel so much angst right now is that you're not taking a pause, you're not taking a breath to just put things into perspective. Just put into perspective that right now, live in a world where you can see people live their lives and access them from millions upon millions of miles away. You live in a world where we are at the technological advancement. You live in a world where you can develop products and services and put them out there if you want to, or be discovered for your talent, whether it's music or art or poetry, hitting the great American novel, that the barriers to entry, the gatekeepers are all but gone, And there are many of you that none of this to you seems real. None of you believe, for some reason, maybe not all of you, but enough of you if you're watching this, believe that it's not for you, that you're not special enough, that you're not good enough, that you're not lucky enough. And it's sad because the thing is, you are. I don't know who convinced you that you weren't enough. I don't know who convinced you that you had to be the top 1% at what you do, because there are plenty of people that are at the bottom of the top 20%, the bottom of the top 30% at what they do, that have got a lot figured out and are making it. You know, there are a lot of things that I've experienced where I was not necessarily the best at what I did, but I was the person who showed up. And I think a lot of you are not even bothering to show up because you've got it into your head that you're not good enough, and you've never even tested that theory. You've never even tested the theory of what if you showed up and what if you gave 110% and what if it actually worked, because you're so consumed with the idea that you might fail and that you might fail publicly that you won't even give yourself a chance. You won't even give yourself a chance. You know, you lose every game you don't show up for. You miss every ball you don't take a swing at. I mean, it's just the real, honest to God truth. And it's a struggle for me to understand why you won't even try in a world where so many people, if you're watching this, are desperate to even have the opportunity to try. You know, if you're watching this, there's a very good chance if you're watching this that you are not one of the 1.6 billion people in desperate poverty living on $1 a day. It might seem easy for me to rant and to rail at you about how much opportunity and abundance there is because you think that I'm in some kind of privileged position. And the thing is, it's like you can say that about me, but you weren't there for the struggles, you weren't there for the hardships, you weren't there for the blood and the sweat and the tears. And the reality is this, is that just like you, I was just like you, and I had the opportunity because I was fortunate enough, chance of being born to lose. I had a 1 in 6 chance of being born in abject poverty in some part of the world and having to make it on $1 a day, and I was fortunate enough to be born in the United States of America, or in the Western world, or in an English-speaking country, or in a developed world where I have access to running water and electricity, all right? And if you're watching this, that's you too. That's you too. And so, if you have access to a phone or a laptop or a computer right now and you're watching this, you want motivation because you don't have any. You want motivation because you're struggling and you don't feel productive enough. You don't feel like you're getting it done. Your motivation is this. If you're watching this, you've already won because you're not one of 6. You're not one of 6. You weren't born into abject poverty. You have every single opportunity, if you're watching this right now, to have the success that would allow you to either make a living. Maybe you won't make a living doing the thing that you love. Maybe you won't make 6 or 7 figures. But if you have access to this device, you have access to the ability to learn skills that would allow you to make a living day to day and to have financial security and stability. If you have access to a phone or to a laptop and you are watching me right now, if you're watching me right now, the only thing you need to do to be more motivated is to consider the fact that you were born into a position of privilege because you were born in the digital era. You weren't born in the 1980s. You weren't born in sorry, not 1980s, I meant the 1880s, my bad. You weren't born in 1776 having to fight a revolution. You weren't born in the 15th century getting ready to have a real good shot of dying of the plague. You were born in invisible signals from one side of the world to the other. Okay? I want you to put that into perspective. I want you to put that into real perspective here. All right? What were the odds of that? What were the odds of that? You want motivation? Here's your motivation. If you have this phone right now, there's nothing that stops you from spending the next 60 days learning a coding language. You don't want to learn how to code? Cool. You got the next 60 days where you could learn photography. You don't want to learn photography? Cool. You could learn design. You could learn copywriting. You could learn marketing. You could learn affiliate sales. But you know what you're going to do? You're going to watch cat videos. You're going to watch how-to videos. You're going to watch whichever political pundit validates your own thoughts and feelings and everything like that. You're going to blame everybody else in the world for where you are in life instead of looking in the mirror and saying, I can do better. All right? You want motivation? You want motivation when you don't have any? All you have to do is consider the fact that the gap between who you want to be and who you currently are, the gap between that is effort. The gap between that is effort. The gap between that is experience. The gap between that is knowledge. There's no way your circumstances will change when you do. You can be a champion in your own life. And you can do that because you can acquire new skills, you can acquire new knowledge, you can acquire new abilities. And even if you work a 9-to-5 job, the odds are, I guarantee you, that if you audit yourself, you watched an hour of videos on the internet this week at some point, you watched, 2 hours of, sports ball at some point this week, you sat there and you watched the news giving you all these negative stuff to think about and to fret over at some point in this week. And some point this week, you squandered 2 to 3 to 5 hours on things that don't make you money, that don't make you happy, and don't make you better. I guarantee you squandered anywhere from 2 to 5 hours this week on things that don't make you money, don't make you happy, and don't make you better. So guess what? You could monetize that same 2 to 5 hours in a week by investing in yourself. And by monetize, I don't mean that, you go and you make YouTube videos and you get money and everything like that. By monetize, I mean that you invest in yourself so that you can reap a return on that, and you do it by learning a new skill, learning a trade, acquiring new knowledge, acquiring discipline. And that's what's required. That is what's required. And it may not be doing something you love. It may not be doing something you love. It might be doing something you have an aptitude for. It's probably doing something that there's a demand out there for. But here's the beauty of it. Nobody is stopping you. There's nobody who's saying you don't get to spend that time. There's nobody. Because if they are, you just have to cut them out of your life. It's the bottom line. It's the bottom line. How do you think businesses get built? How do you think brands get built? It's down to what sacrifice for your success. And I'm not telling you to sacrifice your family for your success. I'm not telling you to sacrifice sleep. I'm not telling you to sacrifice your health. I'm asking you to make a simple commitment to yourself. If you have no motivation, all you have to do is eliminate your distractions and sacrifice your distractions on the altar of your success. That's the only thing you have to give up. You have to give up. You might have to give up Call of Duty. You might have to give up Fortnite. You might have to give up, poker night. You might have to give up, I don't know. You might have to give up whatever that entertainment is. You might have to give up your favorite TV show. But are you willing to do that in exchange for the opportunity to increase your earning potential? Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to do that to increase your opportunities? Are you willing to do that to expand your network? Are you willing to do that to reach the people in the world that you want to connect with? Are you willing to do that to have the experiences that you want in life? Like, I could be out in New York networking if I watch TV all day. I have to trade the time off somewhere. I couldn't be out here networking, if I was indulging more time than required in some kind of hobby, or in socializing 110% purely versus like networking. It's a difference. It's a difference. You know, like, there are people, and I tell them, it's like, yeah, I have almost no social life, and then they're like, oh wow, that sounds so sad. I'm like, what's sad about it? This was the trade that I made. I trade not like sitting around with friends goofing around for 5 hours on a night in order to be able to spend 2 hours doing something I absolutely love instead on that same night, and then spend the other 3 hours sleeping or eating a meal that I want, or whatever, or spending that time on me and just having quiet time. It's like, be invested back, or reading a book. I made a choice to, like, not go out with friends, not go out to the nightclub. And just like when I was 13 years old, I made a conscious choice to not, go outside and play. I decided to stay inside and code at 13 years old. Made a fundamental difference in my success. And that's not a modest brag about me. That's just, if you wanted to understand how you're going to be motivated, you're not going to be motivated by me giving you some saber-rattling speech. If you want daily motivation, it's going to be a matter of daily discipline and daily work. Motivation, you need momentum. You need momentum. You need to start doing things every day and hold yourself to a standard and honor your agreements. You need to monetize yourself by investing in yourself. And if you can do that, then your life will change. One way or another. Your life will change when you change. Your life will change when your habits change. Your life will change when your perspective changes. Your life will change when you change your environment. Your life will change in proportion to the pews to put yourself around. But if you don't make those commitments, if you don't make that commitment to yourself, if you don't make that investment in yourself, then don't expect your life to change, and don't complain when it doesn't. There are so many of you that will complain about where things are and what you won't do, about what you didn't do. And you won't give yourself the chance to do these things sometimes because you are convinced that you're going to try all these things and nothing's going to be different. So the thing is, what if you're wrong? What if this was all? Do you realize how much I resent the fact that I didn't work this hard sooner in life? Do you realize that that is one of the things that I resent the most in my own narrative? In my own narrative, the thing I resent the most is how much work I hadn't done sooner. Not the fact that, oh, I wish I had partied more, I wish I had clubbed more, I wish I had spent more time playing video games, I wish I had spent more time doing this or that. Nope. I wish I had worked harder. Because I would not have to work nearly as hard now. And that's real. That's real. I spend my time not making up for a lack of like being young or my childhood or anything like that. I spend my time making up for the fact that I wish my work ethic had been better. And so I would encourage you to change your habits. I would encourage you to invest in yourself. I would encourage you to take your free time and stop entertaining yourself. Stop with the escapism. If you want to escape your life, and I understand we all need escapism, but I'm going to be very real with you. If you want to escape your circumstances in life, it's not going to be through your distractions. If you want to escape your circumstances in life, your distractions will not accomplish it. It will be a temporary escape. If you want to escape permanently, it will be not through your distractions, it will be through your work, it will be through your investment in yourself. And I don't care if you're 15 or 50, it's real. I don't care if you're 15 or 50, it is real. And so, if you don't have motivation right now, it's not because you're not watching enough speeches. If you don't have motivation right now, it's because you don't have momentum, because you're not doing enough. You're not doing enough. As hard as you're working, as tired as you are, it's not enough. Not if you want things to change. Not if you want things to change. And I want things to change for you. I'm going to Delta. Yeah. Anyway, guys, like, that's my thoughts on this. Like, you know, I'm thinking, like, there were connection issues. I might leave this up for today. I don't know. Like, you know, I'm hoping that you guys were able to hear me clearly. I hope that you got the message. I hope that you get the point that what I want for you is I want for your life to be better. I want for your life to change. And I know that there was one thing that did it for me, and it wasn't saber rattling speeches. It wasn't watching, you know, like motivational memes, because they didn't exist at the time. What did it for me was being honest with myself and realizing and telling myself something very simple. I have more to give than this. I have more to give than this. I have more that I can do. I have more that I am. And I need to start honoring that, and I need to start really earnestly committing myself to seeing what my actual potential is and not holding back. And that's a commitment and a promise that I want you to make to yourself, because I think you deserve it. I think that you need to give yourself that chance. I think you really need to see how far you can go. And I think that distractions and excuses are a symptom of comfort, and comfort is not something that you can hold on to if you want to grasp success. If you want to grasp success, if you want to achieve success and hold it in your hands, you will have to let go of your comfort. And your comfort comes in the form of your excuses, just like it did for me, and it comes in the form of your distractions, just like it did for me. All right, you guys, go out there, create something awesome today. Take care.